Yo, 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 it's your boy Booax here today with a cruddy video, first one ever besides all the two-mans, cause lol. And today
Lol.
I'm here with the person I've been doing those two-mans with. His name is TheSnazzzyRock.
TheSnazzzyRock. The one and only SnazzzyRock. No more SnazzzyRocks.
Yeah, if you're an also Snazzy, he will kill you, so just keep
Yes,
that
I
in
will
mind.
murder your family.
Yes, sir. So today in this video, we are going to be ranking all the raids, all 12 raids, 1 through 12, obviously, 12 raids. So let's begin this, Ryan. So let's start with, we're going to start with D1 raids all the way to D2s. So the first one is Vault of Glass.
So, Evolved Glass, I liked the raid. It was pretty good. There was just like one thing I disliked, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people disliked that, which was the Conflux encounter. Just pretty boring. Nothing really to do. That encounter just hella boring. No one liked it. But the raid in general, I liked it pretty much.
So,
My brain. Yeah, the Atheon encounter was pretty good, and out of the scale of 12, I'd say I'd put it on an 8. Just because the raid's pretty good. Just there's
so
better raids
you're,
that could take the
so
spots.
you say it's a number 8 out of the 12.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'd
My
agree
brain
with
did
you.
not work. Lamau.
Yeah. So for the most part, I have to agree with you pretty much with everything. Still though, still like a fair, memorable raid due to like it was my first time, like it was my first raid ever doing. If it was not, well, you're not OG enough. But it was one of those raids that like you can get your friends and just hop in right away. And probably the best part of it all is like when you go to the exotic chest that we all know and hope to God that you get Gallahorn. Which, it happens rarely, but when it does, it's like everyone freaks out. Everyone's like on the verge of suicide. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, that's one part of the raid, and it was always like a cool part to be at. But everything else, solid. The very two encounters are very boring, but so on after that is actually pretty enjoyable. And for my ranking of it, I'm actually going to give it, well, not give it, but I'm going to put it in my number 4 spot. So, top 5. So, yeah. Alright, the next one is Crotizen.
Crotizen, yes. So Crota, I really liked Crota. Crota was a pretty good raid just because it was one of my first solo raids, and as well for a lot of other people. And like the first encounter, which pretty much a lot of people don't really like non-boss encounters, and pretty much I was a fan of that first encounter. I feel like it pulled off pretty well, just the way they designed it and all that with the darkness and the way you gotta go to the lanterns. And pretty much getting to Crota and seeing that Oversoul, just like, wow, like that's really crazy. And you're just like, you're taking it all, and you're just like, this raid's sick. And also when you're in the solo, it all feels even sicker. So I'd probably put it right under the Vault of Glass on a
Okay.
7.
Let me just drag it. It's being stupid. 7. Alright. Yeah, I like the first encounter. It was, an interesting take to go from that. The bridge encounter, even though it was always buggy, you always solo it, no matter what. Still can to this day, even though it's a lot harder. Crota himself was really fun to solo, but I have to say that this raid was definitely just not like it. Honestly, it was more fun to solo it and play this. It was more honestly just better to solo it than actually do it with an actual team. If you were, above average, but if you were not really like super amazing, you kind of need people. I understand that, but if you can manage always soloing it, I always prefer to do that. I remember waking up at 5 a.m. That's when reset used to happen, or 2, whatever. I wake up at 5 a.m. though in the morning, and none of my friends would be on, and I wanted to do the raids like all 3 of my characters, so I would just literally solo the whole entire thing on all 3 characters every morning, just because I had nothing better else to do. And I mean, it was fun soloing it if anything. So it wasn't very messy raid, obviously, but it was a fun raid nonetheless. So my ranking for it is actually the same as yours. Is actually gonna be number 7.
All right. And the next raid was King's Fall, correct? Pretty
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. So King's Fall, Jesus Christ, was a great fucking raid.
very.
I feel like every single encounter in that raid was a blast. Not one encounter was boring. Obviously, there's ups and downs in between certain things in the encounters and how the bosses go. And getting to Oryx and seeing how fucking huge he is, when you look at him, you're just like, how are we even gonna kill him? Like, what? And doing this for the first time was so fun, because this was like the first raid that I did blind and figured out. Pretty sure it was with you guys, right?
I think for most of it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, this was one of the first raids that I did blind, so it was pretty fun, pretty cool to figure out. It was a nice raid. It was really, really enjoyable, so I'd say I'd put it at like a 3.
3. Okay. So this is your number 3. Okay.
So I have 8, 7, and 3 filled in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Oryx, King's Fall, and all that. It was a really like very close to a masterpiece of a raid. Coming from like the story mission after you beat him in the story, and then you're just coming into the raid and just seeing him as the final boss, all huge. You're like you said, how are we gonna kill him? Like what are we gonna do?
Mhm.
Um, I think the beginning part, like the entrance and go into it, you start off Court of Oryx, you get into the portal was a pretty cool. The jumping puzzle was like it was really cool. Like you jump on each hive shifts just to get to the other end, and you do the same thing with the paths to the first encounter, which is totems. Totems was, it was all right. Like it was not like super fun though. Like it was cool, but it's just not super fun though. War Priest I thought was a great boss fight. What's the other guy? Gorgorath?
Yeah.
Golgoroth? Whatever.
Golgoroth.
Yeah, fantastic encounter. I love that. Death Singers was fun too. I like that it gave you the idea of how Oryx himself is going to be in versus counter, and you have Oryx himself, which was a really good boss fight. The only issue I have with it is the fact that some people may agree to disagree with this, but I don't like the fact that you have to do all 4 of the phases to order to kill him. You can't just like, for example, if you were doing Atheon, you can't just melt him right away, like one phase him. You can't do that with Oryx, which it does involve some skill because you have to not die, but also it doesn't feel like you mastered a raid because if it's just because of how deaths are, like if you just die by a stupid, let's say you just jump down and for some reason you get launched across like the universe, that's not really your fault. And you can't have those real hero moments in here too. You can kind of, but not really. You can't like if the whole team dies, there's only 2 people left. You can't really do that. And some people made it so where like if you died, we have to like reset.
Yeah, no, that was one thing that was annoying. Everyone would always wipe if one person died.
Yeah, which was not ideal. Even if you're like on the 4th orb, sometimes people still do it. It's a little bit, bit much. That's the only issue I have with the raid, honestly. The Orcs fight himself. I wish there was some way, like, if we put him out, the amount of damage we do when we shoot his chest, maybe, like, you could do, like, almost half of it on the first wave, the first set of balls, and maybe it would have been more interesting. But that's just me. So, yeah, that, you can definitely be opinion based on that. For me, I am going to put it at my number 2 spot. So yeah. So the next raid, obviously, it is Wrath of the Machine.
Yes, and boy, do I love this raid. Starting off in the first encounter, you're starting with that big. No, it almost reminds you of a servitor almost, but like a bit, like almost, like just a big opening. You gotta go into that. You gotta charge up the core things, and then this boss guy appears, and you're like, what the hell? This fool is just has a bunch of Steve on him, and at that point, you know you're getting yourself into some crazy shit. So you get past the first encounter, you get into the actual boss fight, and it was really fucking great to get into that boss fight. Because you get into the boss fight, and you see this guy, and you're like, alright, let's take his phone, let's kill his ass. You see all the monitors, and you're like, what the hell, is this for a gamer or something? Like, what? like
Where's this
what?
gaming chair?
like, where's this gaming channel? Like, what? So you go through the encounter. I find the encounter. I like the mechanics. I feel like it's pretty simple, pretty fun. Not like a really bad encounter. I feel like it's pretty well done. After you kill him and go on the next encounter, boy, that encounter is fun and intense. Especially when you're with your friends in a group and you're just running off, trying to get all those parts into the thing. It is hectic at sometimes, yes, but it is like it's fun encounter when everybody is chilling and what they're doing and everyone's fine. Especially like when you finish it and you turn around and you just see the siege engine just fall off into the water. Like, that's ridiculous. You just stopped that huge machine. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And you get to phase 1 of Axis. It's like you enter this dark room and it lights up and you see this guy's face and you're just like, what the hell? This boss fight, hands down best boss fight ever. One of my favorites. So fun the way it works. Phase 1 and Phase 2. I really like it. Especially when you get to Phase 2, how his body connects onto like almost a spider. Like, what the hell? This feels crazy. So you're going through the boss fight, doing all the mechanics and all that. It's not that bad of mechanics. Kill the servitors, stun him, shit like that. It's really not that bad of a boss fight. It's pretty fun, and soloing it is a really big challenge. If you ever do that, and props to you. You 2 million it. It's a cool thing too. I had some friends that did that. But honestly, in all, my favorite raid, I rank out number 1. Boss fight was great. Everything was great about it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you here. Also, the number 1 spot. Just it was such a fun raid to do. No matter what, like
Pretty
even
much
if
just
like
broke it all down.
yeah, it made it where like everyone had something to do, so no one's like, oh, I could just kill us. Nope, you have to do something.
Yep, that's true.
There's really nothing to like complain about in this encounter like at all. There's really, I mean, the encounter, the whole raid at all, like really, there's not. I think it was just a perfect. It was just the right amount, not too hard.
Like, I'd go back right now and do it.
Yeah,
It's a great raid.
I would even do it if like at that time, like if I had no loot, like I already did for the week, I wouldn't like, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, you know what, let's go do it again. I wouldn't really care. And one phasing him is kind of hard. Like you have to really like optimize all your grenades and melting points and all that sort of stuff. But that's why I like. At least like in with this, there's a little bit of a challenge if you want one phase him, but you can easily get him within 2 phases or 3 phases. It was such a fun raid. The boss was such a good, just a great encounter. So I have to rank it number 1 too, my favorite of all time.
And then,
It's gonna be hard to beat that raid, honestly.
we hit in Destiny 2 with Leviathan.
Oh boy, the big boy Callus.
The big boy Callus. Honestly, I feel like it was a pretty good raid. Honestly, there's some things I'm going to complain about, though. I did not like pools at all. I hated pools. I don't like Gauntlet either. I did not like Gauntlet. I liked the raid. I just kind of disliked that it was just like all encounters and just one boss. I mean, it was a good raid. I kind of disliked that. I kind of like the feeling of just like first and 2 bosses. I don't know. It's just me personally. I don't really like just all encounters and you fight one guy.
Yeah.
But Callus was a big boy. He was the homie. He's obviously gone now. Rip the homie Callus. Hopefully we'll see you again in some sort of way. But the fight with Callus was a great fight, hands down. Like, there was nothing bad about that fight. But Dogs was pretty good too. I just don't really like vaults. I mean not vault. Gauntlets and pools. So honestly, I'd have to put it below my number 7 spot on the 6.
So it'd be number 6.
Yes.
Okay. Um, Leviathan, I'm like kind of iffy about it, honestly. Like, it's like you said, like it's all pretty much encounters as the first raid, which is all right. It's not like the worst thing in the world. It was the first raid that we actually like had that. I didn't mind pool so much. It was all right. Gauntlet, I don't care how fast you try to do it, it's still like the slowest one. It's pretty slow,
Yeah.
and they made it literally into a menagerie like encounter. That says something, you know.
Mhm.
And dogs, at first like everyone kind of hated it, but after a while I was like, it's not really that bad at all.
Yeah.
And then Callus himself, I liked how the boss fight worked based on the people who went into the realm. Basically, how many skulls they get, they would um, be the reason how much damage you do when you get into the real to the boss fight and how much damage you do. Callus, I'll admit, he was very easy, very easy. But other than that, I think it's a pretty good raid. Very aesthetic, very beautiful. Like when you first like load into it, you literally see all this gold, this big giant ship, and it was the first cutscene ever too. Like a short little cutscene, it was just that. And as Callus just talks you through kind of everything, not like how the kind of works, but just guiding you like through the area and just knowing like him and his presence is there. He's like, yeah, I'm testing you, and that's another thing too. Like after you beat him too, you go down, you get your loot, and you see all these robots. So you
It's
realize like
not even
how
him.
powerful this guy really is.
It's not even actually Callus.
Yeah, it's not him. So you realize like
Like,
this is crazy.
yeah, like that's crazy.
So yeah, decent raid. It's like a middle tier raid. I don't really have a super spot with it. I mean, super like oh, I love this raid so much. Like if you want to say who loves this raid, Swesticool pretty much does, or at least Callus.
Yes. Yes, he loves Callus.
But yeah. So I have to agree with you. I have to put it at number 6 as my spot as well.
Next one is Eater, I'm pretty sure, correct? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Eater, honestly, I like. It was a good one. I just wasn't too much of a fan. I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's all I really gotta say. I've only done the raid like 3 times. I don't really enjoy it too much. The boss is cool, but it's not that fun. I don't really like it. I'm gonna throw that at my number 11 spot.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not
I don't
really
really
much
like
else to say
Eater.
about it. Like the boss fight was. I mean, the world's first was literally completed
Oh, an
for.
LG group.
Yeah, like that says
In
something.
like, in like what, 6 hours I think it was?
It's
Something
not
like
6.
that.
It was no. It was like an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, that's something.
Yeah, that really says something for it. But honestly, like the bot, like I say, the whole like the jumping puzzle thing was kind of like coolish, but not really. And then we realized that like I guess the first real encounter was just, hey, kill ads, like oh sick.
Yep.
And then
It
like the
wasn't
boss
even an
fight
encounter,
itself,
just like kill ads lol.
yeah. And like the boss phase 1 and phase 2, I don't know, it was just really easy to solve, and the boss fight is pretty cool. Like honestly, like I wouldn't mind doing that raid if it was well, it's obviously gone now, but I wouldn't mind doing it if it was just a boss fight, like just him and stuff. Like I don't mind the boss fight. I kind of find it enjoyable, honestly. So yeah, I have
Yeah,
to.
I get that.
Dude, it's crazy how much our spots are actually are. I have to rank at number 11 too. So alright, so next is uh
Crown.
no Spire.
Oh yeah, you're right, Spire. Well, Hands down flat. I fucking hate this raid. Do not like it whatsoever. The worst raid in Destiny history. Rank it at 12. I'm done. I know that's it. I'm being dead serious too. Like that's how I feel. I do not like the raid. 12, number 12.
No, I
Like
get that,
straight up.
yeah. Mine is also number 12 for me, too. I'll just say a few things about it, though. The boss fight was pretty bad. Like,
Dog
it's been,
shit.
yeah, it was, yeah, basically. But give them props for making it like a hard day one experience.
First contest modifier.
I thought that was
Or
in Crown.
yeah.
No, I think it's in Crown that
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Because it
you're right.
wasn't a
You're right. It was
Scourge and
crown on
stuff,
that
but
one.
it was
Yeah.
just people were just under leveled, that's all. Um,
Yeah.
the boss fight was pretty challenging. And I thought it was okay, but it's not really that good of a raid. The only good thing I have to say about this raid is the the shader that you get from it. Like that's the only thing I like. Like I remember like asking him like, bro, I want to go get this. Like, and you're like,
Did you ever get it?
oh yeah, I got it. I used it a little bit in like the season of Undying, but I might use it again when I start, you know, messing with my stats and all that, getting them up where I need them to be. But yeah, I mean, that was the only reason why I did a raid, and for the Triumph for the seal for year 3. Otherwise, I do not really like the raid at all. Worst raid yet in the Destiny franchise. So yep, I have to rank it at number 12 as well.
Yeah.
So the next one is Last Wish.
No, wait. Oh yeah, it was Last Wish, then Crown, huh?
It's no Last Wish, Scourge, and Crown.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn, I guess I
Scourge came in
just
Black
don't
Armory.
remember. I do not. See, I did not play when Scourge came out.
Oh, I didn't either, but I just remember when it came
I
out.
don't even remember. Alright, so Last Wish.
Yeah.
I really, really, really like this raid. I feel like all the encounters are great. First encounter, fighting. I think it's Callie. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Callie. Fighting Callie. It's pretty self-explanatory encounter. It's pretty simple, pretty cool. Like the door mechanic. Just people are retarded and get it so confused. Second encounter, once again, pretty cool encounter. Just people get the mirrors confused, and that's what makes people think it's stupid. But honestly, I think it's a pretty good encounter. Morgus reminds me of Gold Ross from Last Wish. I mean, yeah, Last Wish.
I
Reminds
remember
me of
this
Gold
guy
Ross
from Last Wish,
from
dude.
King's Fall.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Gold Ross from King's Fall. Pretty cool boss. Shit on him, it's nice. The vault encounter, I fucking hate, dude. I do not like that encounter. It's whatever. It's whatever. I know what to do. It's just like I do not like it. It's dumb. Riven, great boss fight. If you like actually want to challenge, don't cheese it. It's a great boss fight. But if you're just going for your loot, yeah, just cheese the bitch. It's not a big deal. But honestly, I give this raid a 4
4.
on my scale.
Okay.
I
Putting
did
it
get the
there.
seal for it too. Petra's run was pretty nice.
Yeah. So Last Wish. I don't have a lot of experience with this raid. Like I've done the whole thing. Besides the faults, I heard things about it. I don't care. Even though it could be easy if you just do a hazard or whatever. I don't care though. Um, I do find it really cool how you just start off the raid with a boss fight instantly. Like that was pretty cool. And you know, there's 3 bosses in a row. Each each had their own, you know, spice to them. They were fun encounters. Riven, like the lore and all that behind it was really cool. Day 1 experience was the hardest raid ever yet. You know, took the first world's first
There was
redeem.
only two. There was only 2 teams that completed it in 24 hours. Redeem got the world's first, and then one other team was able to complete it within
I'd say,
24
well,
hours.
I think 3 people got it because I know Dado got it.
I'm pretty sure it was only 2 because I was watching a video the other day and it was showing like all the raids and it said Last Wish only had 2 completions on the day.
Maybe then Dado like barely got didn't
No,
get
yeah,
it.
Dado didn't get it. No, yeah, Dado got it after the 24-hour mark, like right after it.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
like
I know. Yeah.
that shows you like how hard his raid was at first. Amazing exotic weapon in there. 1,000
Yes.
voices. Such a cool idea and all that. And after you beat the raid, the first person, basically the Rivens, I mean the curse of the Dreamy City begins, and that's based off like the lore and stuff is based off because Savathun actually causes, which it's kind of crazy to think about. Savathun has been a part of this game in the background since the very launch of this game, Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So this raid is really good though. It's not my favorite. I have to give it a rank of number 5. Still top 5 though. I
Alright.
mean, that's not the worst. All right. Next is Scourge's Pass.
Scourge, I've only done this raid like 2 or 3 times. I'd say it's a pretty good raid. Pretty easy, honestly. Honestly, the first encounter I don't really like. Its fair encounter is pretty cool. But like I said, it's really easy to do it.
Yeah.
Like, the boss fight, pretty, like, it's like simple. You just go and she's like some big fool with a servitor eyeball. Once you figure out how to do it, it's pretty easy. You just beat him. There is one thing that came out of that raid though, which is one of the best exotics, is Anarchy. That raid did give us with an amazing weapon.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the raid, but not like to the point where I'd like play it every day. So I'd give it a 5.
Alright. And there we go. Alright, so yeah. It was a fun raid to do. Very easy. Like, it's pretty much to the point where people are like, oh, this is a strike. Anarchy came out. The best heavy weapon in the game right now. Well, basically, yeah, like you could, shoot 2 of it and then 2 ammo of it and then start damaging with another weapon. Like, that is just ridiculous, like how strong and kind of like cool, and I'm not gonna say broken, but like how good it is in general, just because you can just do a lot more damage than you think you could. Obviously there's like
Yeah.
other stuff in the game changes over time with stuff, but Anarchy will always be a valuable option just because of what you can do. You can use that and then switch to another weapon.
Yeah.
But overall the raid itself, I mean I enjoyed it. The lore behind it is all okay, I guess. I don't really care so much about it, to be honest. But obviously, this was a better take out of. This was awesome that they released a raid for its season for for year 2 instead of like a raid layer. Like it was like its own thing, its own new thing, which was really
Yeah.
cool.
That was pretty cool.
So I think the raid is alright. Nothing crazy. I think like the speed run for it is like 4 minutes.
No fucking way.
Like it's no, it's like seriously like 4 minutes and like 16 seconds, like almost 420.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that says stuff about the raid, but I think it's overall like a fun raid to do. The gear and all this, whatever. The only reason why you even do it in the first place was for Anarchy. So
Mhm.
I didn't mind this raid so much, but I am going to give it. I'm going to place it at my number 9 spot. All right, so now it's the one that you've been talking about, Crown.
Crown. Honestly, this raid it was like it didn't really. It's not like my favorite. I only did it a couple times. When I was farming for Teraba, I kind of realized that I don't really like the boss fight. I feel like it's just not. I don't really like the mechanics, but it's not like the worst. So I'll put it at my number 10 spot.
Okay. You have your number 9 and 2 spot left,
Yes, sir.
and yeah, the raid overall was. It was. I mean, I like a good amount. Like, let me just say right now, I prefer over Scourge. That's my. I honestly like it better than Scourge at least. Um, I'll admit the first encounter is garbage. I hate it. Takes too long. Basically, it's literally just ads and like switch buffs. That's it.
Yeah.
Then like the second one is like the whole like jumping puzzle, which was cool. Nothing crazy though. Pretty much just like the same thing in the first encounter, just with crystals instead. And like boss, the two boss fights, basically first phase and second phase. I personally like them. Like the first one was pretty cool. I like the fact that you kind of fight like the mini version of the boss first, and then when you get to the boss, the real boss fight himself, there's like three of them. You're like, oh shit, what did we do? And but like
Yeah.
oh man, like they throw all of the um all of the like mechanics into that boss fight, which was like probably when you're doing a world's I mean when you're doing a world's first race, it was like overwhelming. Like I didn't do it that time. I wasn't playing the raid that scene really that much at that time. But yeah, I can just imagine how overwhelming. Like, do the crystals. Oh, you gotta melee the guy. Oh, make sure you wash your buff. Oh, look, there's ads on you. This is yours. Oh wait, you gotta shoot the boss's hand so you can kill him. Oh no, you gotta go switch the buff. Like it gets really overwhelming.
Yeah.
So Teraba too, like for the exotic, but it was pretty
Not
much
really
like the
that good.
exotic raid was
Terrible.
low key. Nothing. It's not really that good, but it was a
Terrible.
terrible. So yeah, it's gonna be at my number 8 spot. Oh wait, I forgot one more thing. I can't lie, I still say to this day, the raid helmet for that for the Titan, top tier,
Oh yeah, I have it. It's really nice.
top tier. Yeah. All right. And next is Guardian of Salvation.
Oh my fucking god, this raid is so annoying. This raid is like just plain, simple. It's hard and frustrating. It's just not fun to do. Like, it's not enjoyable. Divinity, I didn't even do the fucking quest line. The first day Divinity was found, I fucking had to find an LG on the boss fight with Divinity, so I joined. That's how I got Div. Never done the puzzle, never will. Um, I don't really like the boss fight. I don't like the mechanics, but not that as worse of a raid as the others. It's its own new thing. I feel like it's strange how um fuck dude, my brain is just not functioning.
You're chilling.
What can I say? The boss fight was just not fun. The harpy guy, everyone messed up eyes, and it was pretty much like Gambit. Just like it was not. I don't know. I just didn't really like it.
Miller's Gambit the raid.
Miller's Gambit, Wimper. But I mean, I didn't really like it. But it wasn't like the worst raid, so I'd put it at my number 9 spot.
Yeah, this raid was. It was a joke. Like I could almost say like it was almost a strike, but the only reason why I don't say that is because I won't like the last boss fight was. It was not always hard. It was just annoying. Like you couldn't. I find it weird how the
Yeah,
damage
dude,
phase
it's
was like
fucking
very
whack.
short. Like it was like you only got like what 15 seconds with him or 10 seconds. Like and like so some people always forget like you have to get all the motes and all, and some people always forget oh there's a Vex there. Like sacrificing himself to the conflicts. Conflicts is just
The plate's being taken away. It's frustrating too.
it is a little annoying, yeah. The boss fight was neither well, but everything else before that was a joke. I don't really care much for the raid. It was such a cool idea to be in the Black Guardian though. People are like, "Oh, this is gonna be
Yeah,
insane! Like it's gonna be so cool," and it looked really cool. Like it looked so nice, so beautiful. Just the encounters themselves was just like, really? I don't know. It wasn't
yeah,
top tier at all. Maybe some people like it. I don't know. Divinity though, the quest, like the little puzzle thing, it reminded me of Outbreak Prime a little bit. But Divinity is like probably the best like secondary exotic right now.
yeah.
For DPS wise, like everyone uses it
Hands
for
down.
attacks.
You need it for tanks, pretty much.
Yeah, because there's no way you can hit your shots. So Divinity, what makes the raid a little bit better, it makes it like a reason to go do it, but you can just probably find people at the boss, so you just like you just have to join in and just do kill the boss and bing bada boom, there's a free weapon for you. So yeah, I'm going to place on my number 10 spot. Not not super not a really good raid, but it happened. It is what it is. Alright, so the very last raid that we have is a Deepstone Crypt, the new raid that came out in Beyond Light. So
Yes,
Ryan, go
sir.
ahead. Go ahead. I don't know what the
So,
spot's gonna be, but yeah.
yep, we all know that this is my number 2 spot. So, honestly, I was kind of doubting this raid at first. Yeah, it was hype leading up to it. I just didn't know if it would be good or not. But honestly, going through the first encounter was just like, okay, you're going through a storm. This is just like but like where are you going to? Like, what's your point? So you get to the storm, then you go to the first encounter, and you have a security. I feel like that's a pretty cool idea how they did that. I really like the operator and the scanner buffs, the mechanics, how they work. I really like that idea. Just personally, I kind of like how you have to. Everyone has like. Obviously, there's like ad clears here and there, but kind of makes it to where multiple people have roles to do because you're having to swap in between sides. So I mean, I kind of like the idea. And getting into the second encounter after the first Atrax, this motherfucker is a bitch. He's a bitch, but goddamn, I'm not gonna lie, I like the fight. He's a bitch, but I really do enjoy the fight. I like the mechanics, once again with the operating and scanning. I like how Scanner has to find the right copy of him, and if you hit the wrong one, it's over. I enjoy body, because his body's in that ball. I like that idea. You're like actually eliminating him. And when you're getting into this encounter, you see something in the crate. Not the crate, not the crate, but like little pod thing. You're like, what the fuck is that? So first, you're like, wait a second. This guy's familiar. It's fucking tank. Yes, some people make reduced content. Yeah, I feel that way too, but I like the way they put it. Yeah, we fought him like 4 to 5 times. It would have been really cool to have a cooler boss, like something else, but honestly, I feel like they played out pretty well with the Mechanics boss. Getting into the jumping puzzle, best jumping puzzle investment in history, hands down, in my opinion. I really, really enjoy that jumping puzzle. One of my favorites. Really cool. You're going through space. Crotizen Protozoan just talking to you to the Crypt AI, and you're just like, what the hell? You see the falling catches in the background, you see like in the space, you're like, this is fucking sick. After that, then you're into the phase of the mechanics boss fight with the nuclear cores and mechanics. I really like how they added another part, just like Scanner and Operator, they added Suppressor to add another role for people. And how you get deactivated, so it kind of makes it to where everybody in the room is going to be playing a part, unless you're just lucky and don't get deactivated. Going to that first encounter is pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool idea. Just generally my personal opinion. And after you get through that encounter, after you dump all the mission, going through the bottom portion, running away, yeah, tank doesn't chase you that fast, but damn, this is hectic and really cool. Like, this spaceship is like crashing into the airplane, and you're just running away trying to get to the front of it. And you get to the front, and then it just crashes. The screen's all rendery, and then you're like, Guardians at like all hurt for a second, just like a bit bruised up, kind of scratch it off, whatever. You get up to that time and you walk up and you're like, wait a second, this is where we started doing. This is strange. You look in the middle, bro, it's like Panics the fucking shank. What the fuck with this fucking how is he a fucking shank? The fuck? It's like the fucking strike bot favorite guy starts in Destiny 1 with Panics. I feel like it's a really cool boss fight. Once again, Scanner, Suppressor, Operator, I like that. They all have to work the team, figure out how to do them. Panics, the actual fight itself, I feel like it's pretty cool. I like how it is and all that. And yeah, it's generally just like a great boss fight. I really like the new system that has the loot caches. It's pretty cool. I like the weapons from the shred. It's pretty cool. I really like them. The gears, I mean, it's not that bad. I kind of enjoy it. The Titan helmet is really nice, which for us Titan mains is really cool. But obviously, you guys already know it's the number 2 spot. And yeah, the Deep Crypt for me.
Yeah. For me, it's my number 3 spot. It is a, like, I remember when we were doing contest mode, we thought like 8 tracks, obviously we didn't really get super far, sadly. But 8
Yeah. Well,
tracks,
it wasn't even our fault. That's one thing. If it wasn't our fault. Nothing had to do with us.
yeah. We thought like, oh, this race is gonna suck, it's gonna be so mechanic heavy. And after doing it, it's like, we're surprised how, like, easy it is, like,
But it's like it's easy to the point where it's fun. It's not like annoying.
yeah. It's just fun and easy. That's what they need to keep doing. Um, I thought A-Trax, like, himself, he was really cool. And I can say here, the video on my channel of A-Trax 2-Man was my first ever time completing A-Trax 2-Man. That was my first time ever
Yeah,
killing him.
yeah. When we did that, it was his first time ever beating the Atrax. He never had completed him before.
Yeah,
He
because
still
after,
hasn't even done the Rapture or Tanix yet. We're trying to get the 2-man Rapture
yeah, and then
eventually,
3-Man
and then
10x.
3-man Tanix. Yeah,
Because
he
at
hasn't
this
even
point, I
done the
might as well
Rapture or
just do it.
Tanix.
But it's because after the raid, honestly, I was like, after we did the contest modifier, we were all a little bummed out, but I wanted to play Cold War since that was on my mind, and they came out at the same time, so I just I just needed a little break from Destiny 2 because I was starting to get burnt out on it. But yeah, I think the raid is really good, really, really fun. The fact that you can farm is amazing too. The weapon designs are outstanding, like the best looking ones yet.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Most of the weapons are actually like pretty good too. Like you see people are like, oh yeah, like dude, I want to get the hand cannon. Like there's like you can people want the hand cannon, people want the
Yeah,
shotgun,
like
people want
all
the
the weapons are
sniper.
good.
Yeah, and they have like certain roles on them that you can't get on other weapons, which is great. That's what we just needed. You had to make them more a reason for you to go do it. And since you can farm it, like you can just get the right rolls hopefully at some point. And obviously you can't forget about the pretty much the new Gallahorn.
Yeah,
What's it called?
I
All
want
eyes
it,
on me.
man.
Eyes,
All I think all eyes of tomorrow.
all eyes
One
tomorrow. Yeah.
second, I'm on Destiny. I want to check it just so we're not wrong. Eyes of tomorrow, not all. So I
Okay,
was
eyes of
correct, just
tomorrow.
without the all. Eyes of tomorrow.
Yeah, that rock is it's a very cool. And it's literally like Warcliff with Truth, but Gallahorn too. Like it's kind of like all the mix.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it is like DPS wise, but I just know it's just a fun weapon to use. And like if you use that, if you see that guy using a crucible, you're probably dead. But overall, I think the aesthetic of the raid of going to the Deep Zone Crypt was really, really cool. Let's just talk about like the fact that you go into space is just mind blowing. Like it is so cool that that's like a part of the encounter, and then you do a jumping puzzle in space, and then after that you see Tanix for the rupture, and literally you're falling out of space, landing in Europa, and you're all hurt and all that, but you crash a ship and then you fight Tanix as he's a hybrid of a Shank all of a sudden. Like this guy literally, as soon as he fell, he's like, I'm a Shank now. Like I don't know how that really works, but hey, you know what? You do
Yeah.
you. You do you, Tanix.
I feel like it's pretty cool. It doesn't. I don't really get how it works. I would love to figure out how it makes sense and just be like, that's pretty cool. Because I feel like it's not like some dumb idea behind it. I mean, I don't really understand how. I don't really like get how to put it together either. But I feel like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't get how like there was like if there was like a Shanks and like the rupture, I can understand that. Like how he got into one, but like there was no Shanks, so it was like I don't know, that part I'm like, it's a little confusing, but
I feel like it's pretty cool nonetheless.
yeah, and it's cool that you pretty much land back in the area that you were
Yeah,
in
like,
the
wait,
beginning.
this is where we started.
Yeah. So I think the raid is very cool, and then obviously, as soon as you did it, pretty much that was it for like the airmen and her lieutenants, and then like it opened the secrets and stuff. And you meet Clovis Bray himself, or his
Yeah,
consciousness.
and you get one of the best swords. That the sword is not from the raid, but beating the raid, the first people that beat the raid unlocked the sword, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Overall, this raid was really good. I think they did a well job on it, and just how everything looks and going to space. Like this, this raid is definitely gonna be a top 3 for us obviously, but I think it's gonna be a top 5 for most people. I have my doubts, like you said, like I was not like expecting much because this whole Rona situation, everyone staying home. Like we just didn't think it was gonna be maybe as good because of that. But hey, they proved us wrong. They did it.
Yep, they did.
And
Straight up facts.
I'm so happy they did so. And I'm just
Yep, me too, man.
even though this just came out and stuff, I just can't wait for what they're gonna do with 7th Thune and even Lightfall. In fact,
Wait, what?
so we'll just have to wait and see. One.
Wait, huh? Bro, I'm in a solo Aatrox, and it's just me, but the light's fading. If
That's
I
weird.
die, wow, what? I die.
Well, guys,
Bro,
you hear him doing the A-Track solo, so Bungie fix it.
I've been doing this the whole time. Fucking Christ.
Alright, well that is gonna be it for the video, boys. Thanks for hopping in. This was a a little interesting video to do. Let's just go real quick before let's go through the list. Mine number 1 is Wrath, King's Fall, Deep Stone Crypt, Atheon. Well, Atheon is just a picture of it, but Vault of Glass, Last Wish, Leviathan, Crotizen, Crown of Sorrow, Scourge of the Past Garden, Either Worlds, Inspire Stars, Ryan TheSnazzzyRock is very pretty much like the same. Wrath, Deep Stone Crypt, King's Fall, Last Wish, Scourge, Leviathan, Crota, Vault of Glass, Garden, Crown, Either Worlds, and Spire. So we're very similar in some things. Like the top and bottom are very, like the 2 bottoms are the exact same. Number 7 is the same, number 6 is the same, and number 1 is the same. But yeah, that's it for the video,
Yeah.
boys. If you're watching this whole video, that was just about almost 50 minutes, please comment MKirk at the end. I mean, in the comment,
Yes.
please, for us. And yeah, we'll maybe see you guys in the future. Later.
Later.
Alright.